I'm Kyle Sardinia, and you're watching Niagara Pro Tips. Welcome back to our series on Niagara Cloud Suite. Today we're going to review an addition that was made alongside our 4.15 release of Niagara, specifically to the Niagara Data Services, Niagara Data Service alarms. Now, there are minimum version requirements, so we want to go back and always check in the Niagara Resource Center in the Niagara Cloud Suite documentation page. We have this matrix that links to the Niagara community for the minimum versions that are required to run each supported feature. So NDS alarms is listed here with the minimum version for the long-term supported version, as well as the feature release version we did put out for U2 with 4.14. But as I mentioned, we did release this alongside 4.15. So the modules are actually included in that build if you're running the latest release of Niagara. But if you do need to go back and run it in one of the old long-term supported releases or the 4.14, you do need to run these U2 version modules, and as well as the update build 10 version for the 4.10 version. Now, in my station configuration, I can navigate to the services, and I can go to my Niagara Cloud service. This channels folder contains the independent features that enable all the Niagara Cloud services to function once provisioning is completed. And I have already connected this station to the Niagara Cloud Suite, so the alarms channel is automatically added for Niagara Cloud Suite after device registration if the device is subscribed to those services. Being part of Niagara Data Services, the alarms channel has already been added. The alarms channel manages delivery of alarm messages to the cloud. It installs a CloudLink alarm recipient in the alarm service. In the alarm service, you can see the CloudLink alarm recipient here, and it does need to be linked to an alarm class to actually route alarms to the cloud. I'm going to create a new alarm class for this alarm recipient by going into my alarm palette and dragging out a new alarm class. And I will call this Cloud Alarms. For the purposes of the demo today, I have a few simulated points here. And in my search service, I can search for alarmable point, and that will bring up all of the points in my station that have alarms already configured on them. So what I need to do is I need to go to each of these points and make sure that I set the correct alarm class. And I will set them all to Cloud Alarms. Still is making use of the regular alarm extensions that are available in Niagara. And just like the other console recipients, they will be linked. So now that my alarm extensions are all part of the Cloud Alarm class, I can link this alarm class to the CloudLink alarm recipient. You will notice that unlike the regular console recipient in the station, the CloudLink alarm recipient does not have a web view associated with it. What it does have is a property sheet view that you can manipulate, like the property sheet views of the other cloud recipients, to say when do you want to actually route alarms. You can unselect certain days of the week or different time frames. What transitions for the alarms, like if they go to an off normal or to a fault or back to normal, if you want those conditions to be routed. It also, you do have to have the cloud connection service enabled and configured, as well as you can, by default, there's enabling of batch alarms, which will collect and aggregate alarms over a specific period of time, and then it will delay and send them all up as one message after a set amount of time. If you disable this, it will fire off one at a time as the alarms come in. And then you can also set a max batch size for alarms that you want to send in one message. And then there's also a helpful piece of information here for when the last time alarms were sent to the cloud. In my cloud portal, there are different ways to view the alarms. I can navigate directly to the device I want to see, and click on this Alarms tab. Now, I have no alarms that have come in from that device yet, so I will go back and manually invoke some alarms. So I will navigate to activate alarm condition. I'm going to activate this for 1 minute, and this is just going to set some of these points into an alarm condition here. Now, there will be 3 alarms generated, and so they will batch and wait about 30 seconds before they are sent off to the cloud. Back in the Alarms UI, I can now see that from my alarm class, the cloud alarms came in with these timestamps, and looking back at my station, I can see that they were last sent to the cloud at 3:13, matching the timestamp that came in. The statuses are all set to off normal. I can look at each individual alarm, and I can see the source as well as the alarm data, the system GUID, certain, hey, what is the state, a high limit condition was met, the value, the off normal value, and as well as I can add in the UI some notes, say this is too high. Now, I did only set that to override for a minute, and all of the conditions have now, a minute later, the status was back to normal, but the alarms are still in an unacknowledged state. So I can come in here as well, and I can go to my alarm activity, and I can select all of the alarm updates, and I can acknowledge. Now in this view, I can also select multiple alarms, and I can come in here and 3 items are selected. Now I can export this, or I can come in here and acknowledge all of the alarms. Now I can see on the CO2 that the alarm has been acknowledged, the transition to off normal as well as the return to normal. Also in the UI, there is a filter option that you can select time frames as well as to filter on in the alarm, as well as different sources. And now that might make more sense if you look at this alarm icon up in the top right hand corner. You can select that, and this will show you the entire customer portfolio of the different devices and stations and sources and timestamps and the alarm class associated with each station to get that full purview of your entire system. So if I wanted to now come in with this full view here and filter on different the last 7 days, and then say specific other devices, not all of my devices, I just want to see NDS alarms and these 3 devices here. I could go ahead and zoom out to select apply and filter it down based on those conditions as well. In my UI view as well, I can say, hey, there's additional things I might want to view, such as the priority or the message text, as well as maybe a UUID for the device as well, just to show that unique device that I might need this for the API or something later, and add additional fields to that table. Now that I have my table configured, I can come in here and select all and export them as a CSV. And view all the additional columns that I have created in my portal view. And with that, you should now be able to successfully send Niagara alarms to the Niagara Cloud Suite. You should also be comfortable with viewing alarms, acknowledging alarms, and adding notes, as well as exporting the alarms to CSV files. Stay tuned for more Niagara Pro tips, and we will see you next time.